Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Nityananda Gauranga Nityananda Nityananda Gauranga Nityananda Nityananda Gaurachandra 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 Oh, Nityananda Nityananda Gaurachandra Nityananda 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 Gaurachandra Nityananda Nityananda Gaurachandra Nityananda Nityananda Gaurachandra Nityananda Nityananda Gaurachandra Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Hare Krishna 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 Oh my Lord Shri Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yo, my Lord. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Ooh. Okay. All right, take a little break. Our Lord's intense. He's very intense. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Ooh. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. Yeah, okay, let's read a little Bhagavad Gita here. Chapter 14, Three Modes of Nature. Oh, boy. This is so fantastic. I am so happy I put in, since 1980, chanting this name as much as possible. I mean, as much as I could do, being such a schmuck that I am. What an investment. This is the best investment I've ever made. I thought Bitcoin was good. This is so much better. Ooh. That's why Lolita and Janaki said, Bitcoin, we don't need that. We got Krishna, man. They just go to the best, man. Janaki, hey, man, we got the best. Why do we need to deal with anything else? You're smart. Smarter than I am. Yeah. It's amazing, this name, man. Yeah. I was just thinking, so I met this one of my friends over here. He's kind of interested in what I do. And the guy had a birthday party, and nice guy, really nice guy, and good guy, really good, mode of goodness guy, does yoga, smart, very intelligent, spirit, looking into spiritual paths and stuff like that. He says, I'm just really happy now. I'm just really happy. Why do I need anything else? Basically, thinking, yeah, he's got a young guy, a lot of girlfriends, beautiful, money, beautiful apartment, does yoga. What else do you need? But then I was thinking, I see that's how Krishna's going to get all these people. Even the ones this is what people have done. Everything's been going along good for them. But the thing is, the Lord thinking this is useless. Really, they don't know it. They just, you're happy for a while, and then you die, and you come back again. In whatever mode you kind of cultivated, whatever that is, and then you keep doing it, and maybe get in bad association and go down to the lower modes, and you do this practically forever. So it's actually the mercy of the Lord. That's why you see Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and Kamsas and all that. These were actually pure devotees. They came to participate in the Lord's pastimes here to help liberate the souls and show them, like how bad it can get into the darker modes, speed up the process. Speed it up. That's what I was mentioning. Maybe the process speeding up, show how bad it can get, because it's going to get that bad at some point. But it would be nice to know now. Can you imagine? To know now that I don't have to, if the Lord speeds things up, we know now, and then we get out. Because now we start thinking. Otherwise, it's good. The whole life you spend kind of happy, and then you die. You're going to take another birth because you don't know about reincarnation. You didn't even care to know. You didn't even care to know about spirit. Why? I'm doing good here, man. Got a nice boat, beautiful wife and money, nice house, big house. You know how big they are in places like America. Big house they got, big house, big space, big area, big cars, big motorhomes, big everything big, just hey man, what do we need God for? See, so the Lord knows, and that's why it's mercy, whatever, whether it's heaven or hell on earth. Actually, hell could be better for us, in a sense. You make it really hellish, and then you start thinking, okay, is there an alternative to this? Otherwise, you don't think. It's amazing. I just realized that Lord is so amazing, Everybody, and actually, once you really get this, then you bless. Oh, thank you, Lord, for putting me in whatever situation got me here. Hooked to a machine, or sick all the time, or intelligent. You might be like doing renunciation. So if that brings you here, because this is the door to deliverance, right here. It's not in that renunciate. That's a many lifetime path, and ISKCON, all that, many lifetimes. No, not this lifetime. No. See? But if that all whatever it does, whatever brings you here, this is the door to deliverance. Isn't that amazing? So nice. And we get the job to be, we're like the ushers and the doormen, like Jagai and Vadai. We're like Jagai, no, well, yeah, them. They were probably from the Jai and Vijay. The Jai and Vijay. They were the doormen of Vaikuntha. You go in, you go through, you go through them. Otherwise, you don't get in. See, they're the doormen. So the new hat, I didn't know. I said, doorman. See, we're all doormen here. Help people get in, usher them in. See, like ushers, you usher them into the Vrindavan show that's on the stage here. Yeah, these life really, they don't care about God because they see no need. Yeah. So anyway, it's just beautiful. It's really the whole thing is wonderful. And like this guy, he'll see, as things get rolling here, it's going to get tight, and after a while, you just all of a sudden you can't do what you would do, then your happiness goes. See, this is the happiness he has in everybody. That if they're happy, this mode of goodness, it can be affected. See, you can be unhappy. You just all of a sudden, if you can't do what you did before to make you happy, because it's material that makes you happy. See, this is a little bit different, or a lot different. This is permanent happiness. You just chant Hare Krishna, and you can be like they say, okay, no, everybody locked down. You have to stay indoors. You know how many people commit suicide or go crazy, especially if they do it again? What are you going to do? Oh, what am I going to do? I can't. My happiness was because I could go to the restaurant out there and drink with the people there and talk about a bunch of nonsense or whatever they do. I can't do that now. My happiness is dependent on some material thing. Here, our happiness is dependent on a spiritual thing. This thing is transcendental. This thing, the thing. Did you know Krishna is the thing? He's the thing. There was a movie called The Thing, but that thing, man, that's Maya, man. It's after you. The thing, some horrible thing. But Krishna is the transcendental thing, man. You got to do this thing. You do this chanting, man. No matter what, you can be locked down. They could put you in the gulags, in jail or in a concentration camp. I mean, you're going to be better off because then the Lord will come to you and give you solace. Even Christians, he does it for Christians. There was this lady, I remember reading this book called Jesus Freaks. And this one lady was thrown in jail. And she had to sleep on a cold floor. And actually the whole day was on a cold floor. But she laid on that floor and it was warm. The Lord just changed everything for her. It's like Draupadi, all that kept miracles happen. I told you about that story. I told Govinda the story about the train. I was on a train and I was starting to freeze. I was just going around depending on God, and had nothing, no coat, nothing, just my clothes on my back, a pair of shorts. And the train, I did a hopped a freight train and just went up into the mountains. And it started to freeze and I couldn't get off the train. I had to stay up. It was one of those flat cars. It just exposed, the elements started to freeze up in the mountains. It literally, I felt like I was going to die. And then all of a sudden, I was just in the jacuzzi. Just warm, beautiful, the whole trip, everything is like the most magical moment. See, God, it's a God thing. Miracles. So this is what people need, you know. That's why often the Lord comes to the distressed and the hopeless and the helpless, because we finally turn to Him. So it's great. So 3 modes of nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection." Yeah, Lalita this morning was talking about, like sometimes I sit there and take a verse and I'll just sit there for a long time, explaining all that. But that's just one of the gifts of the Spirit is the inclination to glorify the Lord. It's beautiful. It's special. The books are full of that. That's what these transcendental books are made from. They're actually the glorification given to the devotee's urge, inspired to write or speak these things. That's where the spiritual potency is. Yeah, the devotee. Yeah, that's how they're the same. The book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat are the same in that sense. The devotee Bhagavat is such a complement to the book Bhagavat. It gives wings to the book because most people can't understand what's in the book. That's why they keep saying, "Well, just read." Like even Balarams tell Lalita, "Just read. Don't explain. Just shut up. Just read." Yeah, and they don't understand because they read and they don't understand nothing. Yeah. I remember Sachi a lot of times. She used to do it. She doesn't do it anymore. She used to say, "I just need to read. I just need to read." I'm thinking, no. It's better to hear these things. Um, a matter of fact, when you're reading, you should be chanting the verses, especially if you have the taste. If not, you should hear it until you get the taste. It's like Noodles. I went to visit her, and she didn't like to chant. She said, "I don't like to chant. I don't like my voice. I don't like my voice." So I just was chanting, singing the songs and all this, and she was listening. And all of a sudden she started chanting. She said, "Wow, I like to chant now. I like my voice." Simple. See, hear and you get purified, and then you get the inclination. That's Bhakti Lata Bij. You get attachment to the Lord. If you have an inclination to chant and to relish that, oh, that's great. See? That's the great gift of being in Sadhu Sangha and being with a realized soul. See? Then you can get these real eyes, the eyes of devotion and attachment, devotional attachment to God. It's very special. That's why, people that are not ready for this, they don't come because they can't see its value. And that's part of our work, is to show the value of attachment to Krishna. It has more value than anything else in this world, is this attachment. This attachment brings you out of the cycle of birth and death. It's like a rope just pulling you out. That attachment, that bond, that spiritual bond. When you die, it brings you right to the Lord. Okay? But if you die without this attachment, you're brought right back to what you're attached to, which is usually the Lord's Maya, Mahamaya, modes of nature. Some situation in the material world. Or a demigod. Maybe you're a good person and all that, and you get to go up there with all those happy people. And they're happy for millions of years, and they're going around the gardens because, still attached to material things. And you go and you can have unlimited sex up there. Isn't that nice? Oh, unlimited sex. Yeah, there's no reaction. Eat as much as you want. Oh, just a nice party for millions of lifetimes, and all of a sudden your pious deeds run out. And all of a sudden you feel yourself drawn back down onto the earth all those good deeds you did to get there, and all those austerities and all that stuff, and then throw it back down. Trippy, huh? So better get the gift, man. And then just naturally, just as you are. Isn't it great? I love this. As I am, just cultivate this regularly, tasting this ecstasy, being around devotees, real devotees, getting increasingly attached to the Lord, and everything works out. You know, your spiritual program works out. You know, and actually, it's not like we don't follow rules and regulations. No, we follow. We don't follow Vaidhi Bhakti, which is it's exclusively rules and regulations, because of a lack of taste. We follow Raghunuga Bhakti, rules and regulations. See, that's another good way. Don't make these people confused in the Vaidhi level. They think, oh, you don't follow rules, you don't following God. No, we don't follow Vaidhi Bhakti, and then you explain to them. Otherwise, people get very misunderstand. So we don't follow Vaidhi Bhakti, that path. We follow the rules and regulations of Raghunuga Bhakti. Now, can you imagine when you say that? That'll make their jaws drop. They might even ask questions like, "Oh, really? What are those rules?" Oh, those are good. You come Sadhu Sangha regularly. You listen to the devotees, and you talk about Krishna. And you just naturally become, attracted to the transcendental Lord. And all of a sudden you want to chant, and then that's the rule. Then Radha and Krishna take over and rule your life. Loving exchanges with the Lord, worshiping the Lord on the level of spontaneous love, becomes the rule of your life. The happiness of that, transcendental happiness of relishing these intimate exchanges. What a wonderful new rules, a new way of regulation. Effortless, beautiful, easy peasy. Now that'll get their interest a little bit. So what does Amy say? She's popping today, popping with revelation and realization. I feel blessed for my struggles because all of it served as a driving force for me to seek the truth and find God. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? It's true, you see? See, if I lived a comfortable, easy, pleasing life, it would only lead me to another birth. Maybe I have lived a pleasurable life in a past life, and possibly where that ultimately leading to. Ultimately, you need to find this. It's the completion. It's the final level. Yeah, it's called The Final Deliverance by this one devotee in the book. There's a book called Saints of India. Sachi has that book still, probably. And it's a beautiful book. It's a nice book about the essence of worshiping the transcendental Lord and all these Raganuga spiritual principles. Lalita was talking about eating meat today. Well, there just happens to be a very interesting pastime in there about that. That blow your mind. So anyway, there was a self-realized soul there, and a person wanted to be his. And so he's like a guru, but he's a self-realized soul, just a kind of a householder type. But everybody knew this guy has realized God, and like this. And so this person, I want to be your disciple. And the guy said, "Oh, you really do, really?" And the guy was coming from a student background, was in the ashram and studied and did regulations and fastings and the thing, religion. But I want to be. He was attracted. I want to be your disciple. He said, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. All right, all right. Well, I gotta go to work now. Come meet me when I get off." So the guy thought, "Wow, you working?" He said, "Yeah, I work. Yeah, so you can come to where I'm working." And so the guy comes over to where he's working. Where is he working? A butcher shop. He was a butcher. It's in the book, man. It's not like we're, saints of India. Yeah, he's working in this. The guru is in a butcher working in a butcher's. Oh boy, the Vites would just freak out. But this, hey man, I'm just telling you the story in there, man. And the guy flipped out because he's a Vite type, can't believe. No, would you eat meat? Oh, you're killing the animals too. And so the guru says, "Oh, this is my family business. My father was a butcher. His father was a butcher. We put this in the book. This is my my work." How could you be a religious person? The religious persons there, they have compassion on it. Like, right, what's his name? Fernando. You got compassion. How could you do it? Oh, I ain't going to go and see. Oh, he says, well, okay, yeah, no problem. You go back to your rules and regulations and all that stuff. Go back to your Vite path. See? So should you judge that person? He was just doing it. He was in his occupational. There are a lot of butchers out there. It's their occupation. But according to the Brahmins and the mode of goodness and all that stuff, but look, a lot of these Brahmins don't even get delivered right away. They're the last to get delivered sometimes. You know why? Because they judge the butchers who might be self-realized. Or they judge a person who eats meat. They judge a Fanny. They might say, "Oh, Fanny, I'm sorry, man. You can't worship Krishna anymore because you ate a steak yesterday." Fanny says, "Bullshit! No way! I ain't giving up Krishna for your bullshit, man. You go. I'm going to worship my Krishna." See? You see why I don't ask people that it's that there's a deeper principle to that? That's why you got to pass that test here. Otherwise you will be offensive to actual devotees who may have the symptoms of having the mercy of Jesus Christ or Radha and Krishna, Lord Caitanya, like here. You'll be offensive. You'll criticize them, and what happens? You lose your bhakti. Oh, you criticize somebody who the Lord accepts? The only ones he doesn't accept and he doesn't waken his heart are the fault finders. He doesn't give them love of God, and most of them are in religion. See? That's why if you're ready to abandon religion, you want to ecstatically worship the Lord like we do, you want to chant like this, well, you have to learn these lessons. That's my job. Prabhupada, your Prabhupada, many of you out there, man, in Vaidhi land, your Prabhupada that you revere came to me and said, teach how you became ecstatic. Teach them the principles. The Lord will help you. The parampara will help you. And he does, doesn't he? Boy, does he help here. Question, let's see, what is this question here? I don't know. Anyway, I don't understand
I
what's going
think
on.
Yamuna is talking to Janardana, not to you, Guru Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know, but okay, what is going on? Okay, whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
Guru Maharaj, if you follow those rules and regulations, actually deeply inside, you think that you're higher than the Lord, because
yeah,
you think that you will achieve this mercy yourself.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Instead of saying, I really depend on you, you give it to me. I'm not
yeah,
going to try to control it. You're the
yeah.
controller.
Yeah, it ends up being a source of pride. Even study of the Vedas, and it brings you into the mode of goodness. There's a feeling of superiority because of knowledge. This is you got to reach the next level. That's why their challenge uh, is uh, is is they have to meet the devotee and get that mercy. Whatever, otherwise, that pride is their block. It's their fence. It becomes an offense, a fence for you them to. That's why you have to come. That's why the Lord will empower low class, fourth class persons with the real religious principles, like we preach here. These things, these very deeper things. to help these sannyasis, because if they otherwise they stay proud and they die proud, and that's how it is. The Narayan Raj group is a perfect example. There's a lot of pride in there, always been, because they get extra knowledge. Narayan Raj was teaching them all kinds of things, and they learn all about Rupa Goswami, but it's all intellectual. It's the feeling isn't there. They got to get purified. That's why these gurus and their followers, that they to get rid of that pride, they have to go to this low class sangha here with low class persons, who have the real mercy of Lord Caitanya. Otherwise, they don't advance. They don't. Just like with Jesus, he told the Pharisees, if you see, Jesus was empowered like we're empowered. We're empowered like this for the Vaishnavas. The same thing. It's always the same. So he told them, he says, you're going to die in your sin. The sin is the false ego. You identify that as truth, and you basically worshiping the false ego. And whatever you do, you're tasting that ras of the pride, jealousies, and all that. It's a ras, actually, and it bewilders you. Yeah, and so he said that you will die in that sin of that covering over your soul unless you accept what he was coming to preach and teach. It's the same thing. We are empowered to preach people to get them over that false identification, starting with the Vaishnavas, just like he started with the Jews. We started with, it's great. I like it because, I like the scriptures, and the Vaidis have been studying the scriptures, or they have connection with the scriptures of Prabhupada's books, and I love Prabhupada's books. So I got some audience. Many of you have come from there, and then even if you haven't, people can learn about these wonderful Vaishnava principles. They're beautiful, they're fantastic, and they're important, and they'll make your life so much better because they take you out of ignorance of the modes of nature. This stuff keeps you doing things that harm yourself and harm others, and you don't even know it. See, so we need to imbibe this understanding. See, here you learn all about the transcendental form of the Lord and how to connect with that, how to access that. See, you're not misdirected here. See, everybody, until you realize the transcendental nature of the Lord, and have that nature in you also, then you're more or less misdirecting the whole world, because only you know, and others, like other rare people like you, know that transcendental nature, that's the goal of life, is the transcendental nature of the Lord. To commune with that, to relish that relationship eternally. That's the goal of life. Otherwise, nobody knows clearly what they're doing here. And this, my friend across the street, he's not clear on what is the ultimate goal of life. He'll have to hear that here. Otherwise, you think, oh, what do I need now? I do yoga and I'm happy and I got my money and I got my girls, I got my nice apartment. What else do I need? I'm going to travel here and I travel there. He's already got his plan. I'm going to travel here and travel there. And he doesn't know that the demons have their plan of you not traveling. You're going to go into metaverse, man. Or are you going to sit here? See, what are you going to do? They're going to say, well, where are you going to go? See, this is what the Maya does. Okay, now where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Here's your goggles. You think we're going to be having the goggles on? We made for fun or something, but basically, hey, give me my beat back. Oh, I can't go anywhere? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'll have my own entertainment. Krishna's my entertainer. He's the great entertainer, man. These others will put their goggles on and go in goggle land. Goggle land. All these avatars, all big distractions and all this stuff, and then they die. What did they learn? What did they discover in life? What, these little cartoons in the metaverse? What is that? It's the illusions. Completely. Your whole life is wasted. See, that's what you get for serving Big Brother out there. Well, anyway, there's an alternative. There's big brothers and sisters here in our Sangha. Anybody can come here and very easily, without a lot of trouble, understand Krishna, relish that understanding, taste that transcendental bread of life that Jesus was giving us an introduction to, by the form of the name. This name. Yeah, how are you eating bread out there? Yeah, this is how I eat my bread there, Kamalakanta. He's talking, prasadam, 40 years in Vaishnavism. Hey, man, I'm here to teach you, if you want to learn, how to eat this bread. How to eat this sabji. This is everything, man. I got all courses of meal. I got sabji, I got halava, and my halava is without excessive sugar and oil. It's just perfectly sweet, man, naturally, organically. Yeah, no problem with that. You eat all the halava I want, right? When I'm ready, I can say, okay, that's enough, Lord. I'll put you over here in the corner, but don't go. You just stay there. When we're ready for you, we'll call you back. This is the most amazing, man. This is real wealth, man. Even happy people will convince them, man. Even he's thinking these things, Matter of fact, you know what he said to me yesterday? I was surprised. He says he has a lot of friends, too. And he's a happy guy. He says, you're the happiest guy I know. Now that's a compliment. You're the happiest guy. And I was thinking, oh, wow. It shows, huh? It's all because of my Lord Krishna, because of the bread of life, man. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. And I can, have the happiness in the world befittingly, not too much, not too little, just live your life, whatever it is. And the Lord participate. He's with you, man. He likes the activities of his devotees. He likes to participate. Yeah. So when I watch a movie, I have my Lord with me. We're watching together, actually. It's great. He shows me stuff. It's like we're sitting eating popcorn together. He says, hey, Kohari, you see that? Yeah, that's trippy, isn't it? Yeah. You want to have the imaginary friend who's not so imaginary? Most of the time, the real line goes underground for time. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. Even in the Jesus thing, when the Christ spirit, because of materialistic people, they take over the disciplic lines. There was who was in the disciplic line of Jesus. It was the apostles, right? The 11, and they promoted. They had the spirit, see, and they could promote the spirit. So it's the same idea. See? Vaishnavism is meant to expand that, to clarify that, but Vaishnavism, we're here to give that spirit. Otherwise, it's underground. It will stay underground because none of these gurus I've seen could give it. They don't know what it is. Narayan Raj wasn't clear about it. Can you imagine? Everybody think, and he can't give the kind of clarity that we have to give. It's just a fact, man. Where's the distribute? Where'd you distribute the Spirit? He told my disciple doesn't even exist, the Holy Spirit. See, these guys live. My ex-wife and my other disciple, they listen to these people and they believe in where they are. But look at the place we're at, man. This is going to help them come back. They got to see that this is the real deal, and they got the raw deal. This is real deal. That's the raw deal. Well, no Holy Spirit. Are you kidding? Well, this is the life of Krishna. Is the Holy Spirit, isn't it? The life of Krishna is Radha, and that's the personification of Radha. The personification of devotional spirit is the heart of Krishna. That's why it's red. You see, she likes red. Yeah, passion. That's it gives life to Krishna. And we're like that. See, people chanting Hare Krishna, they're not chanting the Hare part. It's practicing, but they're only really chanting Krishna and they're dry. See, Krishna don't like that. Krishna wants and people don't know they want that. They don't know they're like the name. They're like Krishna, but Krishna's like dry bread. He's the bread, but where's the butter? The devotion is the butter. Then when you chant Hare Krishna, then you'll understand Krishna better. You'll be his friend because you're on the same quality now. You're like him. You're looking for that bhakti, man. Isn't he? Isn't he always looking? He's always seeking Radha, right? Why aren't you seeking Radha? Hey, Radhanath. Hey, you gurus out there. Why aren't you seeking Radha? Radha's over here. We got her. We're friends, intimate friends. We're here to teach how to get her. How to get the girl, man. It's all about getting the girl. Everybody knows that, right? You gurus should be thinking, how do we get the girl? And you're not thinking that way, so we'll help you, man. Otherwise, what is it? You think it's all about dry knowledge? You think it's about a PhD you got in a mundane school? You know, all that brainwashing you had to go through, man. You know, they must have did good because you're out there telling everybody to do that. You must be part of the millennials out there. Got into the. He's probably a trans advocate. Maybe he's woke. Maybe he's a woke guru now. I'm a woke guru. See, they got to be thinking like this. How do we get the girl? The girl is Radha, man. How do we get that pure love so we can taste Krishna's beauty? We can eat this bread and enjoy it. Not just like, well, man, it's been 50 years I've been with Prabhupada, and oh, God, I got to chant another 16 rounds. I'm telling you, some of them think like that. Well, I guess I better just appear like I got my hand in the bead bag. Can you imagine chanting 50 years without taste? That's how it is and why a lot of people give it up. Well, ask Bhagavan if he chants. He used to go over Janaki's house. Bhagavan, the Guru Dev. Ask him if he's chanting it still. Or if he is, maybe he's trying to make another last attempt before he kicks the bucket. Oh, he's good at yoga and does yoga and stuff like that. But, what is it to be Krishna consciousness? To come to Prabhupada and all that is to get this taste for the holy name like we got. We have a monopoly on this. We really do. This is our contribution to Vaishnavism, is this ecstatic chanting and all these wonderful revelations and decoding of the matrix that we do here. And if it's not recognized, well, we'll go back to Godhead, and these people will be left behind until they do recognize. So they'll just have to wait till another situation comes in another lifetime. They can take advantage of it now. What do you think? This is any different than when the apostles were here? Or when Lord Caitanya was here with his devotees? There are a lot of people missed it. They were all concerned. It's right in our books. Many people were concerned with their own stupid activities or their lackluster activities, even in religion. They were teaching, like when Lord Caitanya was here, they're still teaching Bhagavad Gita, but they didn't associate with the real associates of Lord Caitanya. The real associates of Lord Caitanya are here again, here in this Sangha. And this is a fact. And the same thing happens, and if you learn from history, you're not doomed to repeat it. This has all been revived again, and it's the same thing going, so I'll comment on it because it's in the book. Okay? They were giving their Bhagavad Gita classes like these guys are doing, right? The gurus are up there on their big thrones giving their dry classes. And they don't understand what they're reading and speaking about, but they're thinking, wow, we're Guru Devs, man. Look at all my followers and worshippers. Wow, we're important persons. Look, we go around and people think, there's a Guru Dev there. Oh, give me mercy, give me mercy. And nobody gets the kind of mercy that's real mercy. Hey, real mercy is this. Real mercy is to chant this name of Krishna in ecstasy. Now that's the mercy you should be thinking. You want mercy? That's the definition of the Hare Krishna movement mercy, is to chant the holy name with great ecstatic relish and devotion and mellows. That's why Lord Caitanya came here. Oh, His Holiness Jaipataka, His Holiness. Yeah, where is there holiness there? Yeah, let's question. Oh, His Holiness Radhana. Yeah, His Holiness. Yeah. Is he a prema bhakta? If he's not, there's no holiness there. It's just a word. It's an empty name. Oh, let's go to crying school of Gaur Govinda. There's a crying school. Oh, let's go there. Is there any crying because of transcendental ecstatic worship? We don't do that here. We don't know about these things. See, all this stuff is explained here clearly so that people are not misled. They're led to Vrindavan without a lot of troubles of being misled. Can you imagine being told directions? You ever been to India? Oh, ask anybody. Oh, how do I get to this place? And this because they want to see like they know, and they don't want to appear like they don't know. That's like these gurus, man. Same thing. They want to appear like they know all about Krishna consciousness, and they can tell you all about it, but they don't know anything until they can chant this name in ecstasy. They don't know nada until they can chant this, and they're Bhagavad Gita personified. Bhagavad Gita 10:10. To those who worship Krishna with a loving ecstasy of prema bhakti, I give them the right understanding. Until they're that type of guru, they don't know that. They're misdirecting you. They're like those people in India. You ask them, how do I get to Vrindavan? Oh, I'll tell you, I'm Guru Dev. Come and listen to me. I'll tell you the direct path. And you go listen to them, and you're still like a Vaidhi Bhakta, and you're following lots of rules and regulations, and you chant your rounds out of duty as long as you can try and stand it. Let's see how Brahminical you can become. Very hard. You got to do all these rules, and even your gurus, many of them have given up, but they'll tell you that's the hypocrisy. You think they're out of hypocrisy? Why did Krishna say, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me? I will give you protection. Surrender to me. As you come here, I'll teach you who Krishna is. That's my job. Teach you who Krishna is. Krishna is only if you chant in ecstasy are you a knower of Krishna. And then you can see who doesn't know because they don't chant in ecstasy. Otherwise, you're going to these persons, Indian or Western gurus who got in there by some other means other than the real correct way, which is being empowered by the Lord, and you arise as guru. Krishna arises in you, and automatically, simultaneously, just like Lord Caitanya and Nityananda arose simultaneously on the horizon of Gaudiya. A real servant of Nityananda is the same thing. Krishna arises with their preaching of the true conception of Krishna, the true path, the true direction to get you there quickly without a lot of troubles. You got a lot of troubles going that way, man. As a fact. If they don't worship the Lord like Bhagavad Gita 10:10 personified with prema bhakti and loving ecstasy, they don't know the way to Vrindavan. It hasn't been revealed. The verse reveals that. It reveals the truth of everything. It reveals the truth of the Lord's Maya. They're still in Maya. And you're going there asking direction to Vrindavan. Well, it's going to take you some time. You won't make it in this birth because they haven't made it yet either, unless they worship the Lord with prema bhakti. Simple as that. Does anybody care over there? Hey, why don't you come visit with us? Let us examine things. You examine us, we'll examine you for the benefit of your disciples and yourself. Don't you want to be liberated? Don't you want to go to Vrindavan? Isn't that the whole point of the Krishna conscious movement? So you can attain Krishna and Vrindavan and live there forever? Well, we're the doormen here, doormen and women. We went in the door, right? We're the shepherd of those who want to go in. It's a fact, man. We're in there. Oh, you can't see? Are you? Well, that's your ignorance, man. What, you can't see what's plainly obvious? We chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion, like Lord Caitanya, like Nityananda, like their real followers 550 years ago, like Prabhupada did in his room, like Bhakti Siddhanta did in his room, like Bhakti Vinod did in his room. And you don't know because you haven't seen it until now. Now you're all shocked. What is this? Surprise. Well, it's time to come out of the closet. Here's the time. It's like, the gay people, they feel more expressed. They come out of the closet. Well, my Lord, his time, he wants to come out of the closet. I've been ordered. Bring me out of that closet. I'm tired of sitting in that closet, in Prabhupada's closet. Bring me out of the book. Make me dance. Yeah, that's when you have a devotee Bhagavat, man. That's what devotion does. And make the Lord dance on the stage of the world, man. Oh, really? The Lord's transcendental nature here. Wow, I'm starting to get that. I didn't get it. My Guru Dev, my Acharya Dev couldn't tell me the transcendental nature of the Lord. Of course not. He doesn't worship the Lord in ecstatic love like Bhagavad Gita 10:10. See, that's how Krishna gets you, Janardhan. He gives you, he says, "Oh, he wants to show you he's the best. Otherwise, there's no meaning to all attractive." What is this stuff? People say, yeah, we worship Krishna. Well, Krishna means all attractive. Yeah, but we worship Krishna. Oh, he's all attractive. Well, how come you're not here? Because we got a monopoly on Krishna, as far as I can see. I mean, I would love to others. Lalita has a monopoly on Krishna. She calls, he comes. Johan, he calls, he comes. They share the same hearts with the Lord. That's why if don't tell me your Guru Dev's out there and you're not attracted to Lalita or Johan or any devotee here that has ecstatic devotion, man, because that's the Lord showing his face to you, facing you off and testing you. Do you like his Radha? Do you like his devotee who is devoted to Radha and Krishna and has gotten their mercy? And Lord Chaitanya's mercy? Do you like that? No, I like being Guru Dev, man. Oh, okay. We'll get you later. Come later. We'll get Janardhan first in the kingdom, and Freddie, Steady Freddie, and everybody else coming here. Go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, I Yamuna asked why she had a dream of Srila Prabhupada who put his hand on her head when she was crying, and she asked why he put his hand on her head.
Oh, in a dream, he did that while she was chanting, or
she was crying in her dream. She wrote it here a little bit lower.
Okay, let me see here. In the private chat? No.
No.
In the regular chat, okay. Yeah, I got some idea, but I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to think about it a little bit.
I found it. Shall I read it?
Yeah, read it. Yeah, read it.
Why did Prabhupada put his hand on my head when I was crying in my dream?
Oh yeah, it's kind of like accepting you into the family like that. It's like the father smells the head of their child and stuff and puts a pat on the head. Like, oh, that's really nice. That's great. See, it's like accepting you part of the family. That's what I would say. Maybe there's something else. If something else comes, I'll share it. Yeah, usually that's one of the things. The Lord gives me some ability to decode dreams often. Yeah. Say decode the scriptures, decode dreams, stuff like that. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I also had a dream, well, a vision. I had a
Oh,
vision. I
yeah.
saw both of my parents, first my mother and then my father. There was only 5 or 10 minutes in between while I was chanting. One of these days, I was chanting with you, and I saw my parents as who were not really sweet people,
Mhm.
and I saw them with a young, sweet face. They were like holy persons. They
Wow.
showed up for me like both of them, beautiful and holy, very recognizing that they
Ah,
were them.
yeah. See, it shows you that Krishna does do that. It says, you become a pure devotee. Like, you're a pure devotee now. You have real devotion, real, So, and he's showing you that your generations are purified by that. You just purify so many generations. So he showed you right directly like that. It's nice to know. It's nice to see. It really works. Yeah. We're all playing parts, and I see and see. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's get back to Bhagavad Gita. Let's read some of this here. I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Yeah, and so you need to know the ultimate understanding is Shuddha Bhakti, nature of the Lord, not just goodness. A lot of times Vaishnavas speak about goodness as pure goodness, and it's really not. But because pure goodness is so high, and the living entities have such a hard time understanding such a subject, they just think, well, let's just get them into the mode of goodness. Let's say that's pure devotion, even. There's a lot of that going on. That's why a lot of people think these persons are pure devotees, the ones that are just maybe Brahmins at best. There's, in this Govinda Mar, is it Govinda? Anyway, Puri Maharaj thing. There was a guru in there, and so the Puri Maharaj made him the guru in their sampradaya and stuff like this. Like he's the new one. But he was a good example, just being a good guy. He just was an Indian who followed strictly the rules and regulations. He was in the mode of goodness, and they were promoting him as a pure devotee. That's what they do often. This stuff that we're preaching is so high and so transcendental to all the modes of nature. But a lot of times in Vaishnavism or in religion, that's why you think the Pope. People see they misunderstand the Pope, who's probably not even in a mode of goodness. You see, when you are in the modes and you're not even in the mode, if you're in the mode of goodness, you can see as far as that. You can see, oh, this person is cheater. That's why they say with the demons, they could see the demons. A lot of these people are more in the mode of goodness, more or less, to some extent. They're regulated, maybe spiritual. Um, they think a little bit higher, loftier. And they're intelligent. towards that kind of mood. Logical, critical thinkers, and they could see, oh, these demons are cheating you. They're in a passion of ignorance, and demons work by deceptive. They have deceptive intelligence. They deceive, they lie, they cheat. That's their nature. The mode of passion, ignorance. See, you can only see up into the mode that you've got. That's why there's a saying, Prabhupada even said, he said, only a pure devotee knows a pure devotee. Unless you get the mercy of the Lord. That's why I say, if you get the mercy of the Lord, he'll send you over here. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time seeing what's going on. Even though we're speaking so nicely. I mean, I learned after years of preaching. I mean, I would write these things and I would think, wow, this is really nice. Let me share it with the Vaishnavas and see how many misunderstandings it would make. It's like, or even preach. I talk to the Narayan Raj group and share things, and they look at. They couldn't understand what I was saying. Or sometimes now they see there's power here. Some Narayan Raj people would say, oh, yeah, that's like what we do. See, because they just talk about it and speculate, and they could see some semblance of that here. This is a real deal. They're just in their mind intellectually. See, so I've seen quite a few things, and so it's to see these things to help people get clear. What is spirit, man? What's beyond all the coverings of material? What's beyond Brahman? It's our work, man. It takes a lot of ecstatic worship for a long time to help people through that. I'm being shown the parts of the people in my drama, not what they did, but who they are. Okay. See, becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain the transcendental nature like my own. See? Would you like to have the transcendental? That's where peace is. Peace is not in this world. Peace is not in the mode of goodness. That's why Jesus said, I have peace that surpasses all understanding. In other words, there's peace in the world that people understand, but there's a peace that nobody understands unless you're a purified devotee of God. The joy of the Lord, they call the joy of the Lord is different than the joy in the world. That's why the Lord has to come in a devotee form to teach this, or he sends his representative to teach this. There's nobody teaching like this that I've seen. They're all just playing the part, just going around, making their rounds and looking good and looking like, they know all about Krishna, but they don't. Well, I don't know all about Krishna, but I know what Krishna's transcendental potency is, and I stay with that. And then my understanding grows by this relationship. This is what's taught here. See, how to lock on to the transcendental nature of the Lord, how to recognize what it is, and stay with that and cultivate that. See, the Lord will start to show you that because of this association, and only in association like this, those who actually really know Him. It's rare, man. It's very rare. Prabhupada was asked by a Neophyte, how do you know, how rare is it that of a person who actually knows Krishna? And Prabhupada said, you go into outer space and you find a log floating out there. Why do you think it says, Bhagavad Gita, out of many thousands of self-realized persons, hardly one knows me in truth? See? Self-realized. You can be realized God is everywhere. You can realize that. I really, that's the first thing I got with Jesus. Spontaneous awakening of God is in everything. I was part of that. It was great. It was wonderful. But hardly, I still didn't know Krishna. Not to know him in truth, in the full truth, the complete truth. That was part of him. He's got that. But you know what? He likes this form better. He says, oh, I got that form. It's just, I'm in everything. I'm all cognizant and all that. And in this form, as Lord Chaitanya, it's like he just, oh, who's a new person here I don't know. Now, that's pretty bewildering if you think, well, God is all knowing. How come you don't know me? The Lord would be like that sometimes. And sometimes all of a sudden he know everything about you. It's Yoga Maya. The Yoga Maya sometimes puts the covering like, oh, it's a new meeting. Isn't that what we do? Don't we meet the Lord every day in the mantra? It's like, oh, springtime, a new meeting with God. It's all fresh. Oh, more revelation, more revelation. So the Lord he likes to relish, it's called relishing mellows. What we're teaching here is the highest attainment that you can get is to taste transcendental mellows, a mellow relationship with the transcendental Lord Krishna. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. It comes into what we're talking about today. Yeah, this is what we said. Like people, they're getting disturbed now. See, there's a dissolution. Do you notice? Things are being destroyed. Isn't that build back better? Even Biden's saying that. Hey, man, we're messing things up because we want to build it back better. They never do. They can't. They're demons. But they have their plans, their ideas. See? So the dissolution, see, that's why when we attain chanting Hare Krishna and ecstatic and everything, then as this is a dissolution, a smaller one, but it's a dissolution anyway, it's a time of apocalypse, things get dissolved and changed and transformed, see? And so people are being buffeted around. But a devotee in transcendental consciousness, they're not affected as much. Maybe somewhat, but not a lot less. Okay, your turn to read there, Lalita.
Come and unmute myself and I will read. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus, established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate. Making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. Material
Yes,
nature.
you see how he's the father of everything. He impregnates the Brahman, and that's why you see inside all living beings there's spirit. It's the Lord's spirit. He imbues life into. That's why otherwise it's dead matter. That's why you see when the spirit goes, that's the Lord goes. The body
What is
is
that?
burn it. Yeah, body's finished. You burn it. The people like the body simply because their spirit is inside. But see, the thing is, that's why you need those who have the self they've realized the real self, the deeper self, and they're not just bewildered spirits. See, the spirit is inside; it's bewildered because it lacks knowledge, and it's developed in illusion, it's developed these coverings. That's why you see some people look like snakes, and some beings. The snake has a living soul in there, right? It's got a soul in there, but it's a snake. So there's a certain covering, different modes of nature. Human beings. That's why this is the rarest form. This is the best one to realize all this stuff. It's one of the the least of the creations of the Lord. This human form of life is very rare. This species. See, and so in all living beings, it's the Lord in all of them. And so as we advance in consciousness, you start to see like that. You see, my Lord is in there, and He's in there, and we're all in. Our nature is to be His servants. That's why people, they serve the material nature, and they become bewildered. See, their consciousness is lowered into the modes of nature, more coverings over it. That's why we have different species of life. See, as a human being, we're almost out of here. And that's why if you're lucky, you meet a real spiritual master, and through the Vedas, you learn all of this stuff, and you begin to taste this nectar of immortality. See, now we develop a spiritual nature like the Lord. And like the Lord is not affected, we become less and less affected. Yeah, go ahead, Lalita.
Yeah. So, material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And when the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, Almighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
See, that's why another reason why the devotee or the Lord or the Lord, or actually they both come anyway, even though you may not see God with the devotee, but they're the power behind the devotee. So you need to come in contact with the spiritual nature that comes through the devotee. Otherwise, everybody's always in contact with the material nature. There's real devotees who have realized God's transcendental nature are rare. Okay? Most people, they're in contact with the Lord's covered nature. Okay? It's covered nature. Even that's why even the gurus, the gurus have to meet the real transcendental person. Now, a lot of people met Prabhupada, but he didn't teach everything. It wasn't possible in 11 years. He was age 70, and he had a mission. I mean, the transcendental nature is all in his books, all left for us to begin this work. Yeah, and you have people, if they want to advance, they have to make contact. That's why sometimes we force the issue. We sit there and kind of call attention. Hey, guys, can you see us over here? They're not usually interested. They're all focused on their own, Mayic activities. Even in religion, they're all the religious activities, their rules, their regular ceremony, they're all there. And we're making a call. Hey, you see what we're doing? What are you doing? They make some contact. See, by even a little associate. That's why a person, if they find fault, it's good. Hey, contact. You're looking over here. See? That's why King Vena was not delivered. Right? Well, he was in a way, but in a sense, Narada Muni said King Vena was not delivered because he never thought of Krishna. He never met anybody beyond a Brahmin. Like he had some contact with Brahmins, but not self-realized soul, who would remind him of God or Krishna or whatever deity they worship. So in a sense, he didn't get what Kamsa did. See, Kamsa had contact with Krishna even by remembrance. It shows you the power of remembrance. And he was adversely remembering. He was like, he was in fear of Krishna. See, so he's thinking, and it ended up delivering him. Made contact with the Lord. Even the Lord, hey man, Lord can kill me. That's great. Good. Man, be killed by God. What an honor, man. Nothing but blessing happens from that. And if you're a devotee already, hey man, it's great. Yeah, yeah. See,
Freddy
so
say, "Hmm,
what?
the
Go ahead.
Lord, the Lord impregnates Brahman just by his glance."
Yeah, yeah, impregnates. Yeah, that way. Yeah, well, by his glance. Yeah. So, and it's kind of a deep thing too. Actually, we could talk about
A
that a
very
little
deep thing.
bit. Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. You know what? I think I need to take a break for a while. Um,
That's okay.
yeah. So let's take a little break and yeah, yeah, we'll take a break. Hare Krishna, everybody, and we'll see you in a little bit.